is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some Alone in the Dark gameplay for you. And today I'm going to be showing off the demo of Alone in the Dark that just came out. It's a free download if you want to check it out right now. I'm going to be the first one to let you know I have never, which seems very criminal to me, but I have never played any of the Alone in the Dark games. I've watched some gameplay of them from the original ones back in the early 90s, the point and click ones, to some of the ones in the mid 2010s. I remember the movie. I never saw that, but honestly, a lot of the survival horror genre, just the horror genre in particular, pays a lot of homage to Alone in the Dark, and it just seems kind of, I guess, criminal to me that I've never ventured into it, but I guess more now than ever before. But honestly, this game, I just watched a little showcase they had of it today, and I will leave a link of that in the description if you want to watch it. I was really intrigued on it, and one thing I like about this little demo, it doesn't really show off much, but it gives me enough to just, I guess, understand what type of game, the aesthetic of it, how it plays, and that's all I can ask for. I wish more games did things like this, just so you can give a little taste. And you don't have to have a whole full segment, but the type of game this is, I just really enjoyed it. I like the whole aesthetic, the atmosphere, and that's one thing you really got to nail with these survival horror games, especially in games made today, is atmosphere. And if you're not nailing the atmosphere, you're really at a huge disadvantage, I believe. But I like this small little segment. I like the house and all the characters you encounter, just the things you see and sounds and the music. Music really vibed a lot with me too. I'm watching a little video I told you earlier about, just telling me how they decided to do the music was really cool. Because do you have a nice horror game, you got to have some good music. Music is very key. I think it's one of the most underrated parts in video games, having a good soundtrack, especially in survival horror games. I always say it with JRPGs, but survival horror games too, just have a great soundtrack. It really makes a huge bit of difference, creating that that vibe, that perfect vibe with the game. But here, once again with Alone in the Dark, this one, as I said, I'm not familiar with a lot of the stories. I've seen bits and pieces of them, but I'm coming in completely new, basically. So that's a cool, unique thing to me, because there's nothing like starting something you've never done before and just jumping into it, because it's never like your first time. But this is definitely going to be something I'm really interested in. I like the fact that it's you can play two characters, and by the way, got some nice talent in voicing the main two characters, so that's really cool there. But I feel like with survival horror games, I guess Resident Evil did it for me. Not that there's anything wrong with just having one playable character. I just feel like having two just increases that playability, and that's what they talk about. You're going to have to at least play through it twice to really get the full story and how encounters happen. But I feel like with survival horror games, ever since Resident Evil made it more famous, it's having two playthroughs and stuff, and multiple playthroughs with those characters, you kind of got to have that. So I can see myself playing with it. The combat, from what I saw, you won't see it in this demo, but the combat from what I saw in the little showcase, it was cool, interesting. It never felt like you were overpowered. It seemed like just a means to sometimes get by, whether you're firing a firearm, and you got to be obviously save your bullets because you don't get a lot of them, but you also have melee stuff. But it gives you that feeling that you have a means to defend yourself, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be you're just blasting through everybody. You gotta be smart with it, which is cool. I like the whole scenery of you see stuff, you hear voices, things aren't what they seem. The whole environment. I like when we go in this next room eventually when it changes up to like a jungle type thing. It just kind of gives that mysterious vibe, and I really like that. I always like guessing and hallucinating, having that supernatural vibe. It just really looks cool, and ever since I love the atmosphere, and like something Resident Evil 7 with a great atmosphere it had. I just feel like a lot of games are figuring it out with these type of old antique type houses, just really looking cool. And I'm not gonna lie, that thing on the ground, I'm just trying to figure out what the heck that was. Definitely a weird setup here, but that's one thing about in these survival horror games. You have these type of houses. They had the most luxurious, weird, just set up architecture of their environments and how things are placed, but it obviously wouldn't work that way in real life. But in a video game, it's right at home, perfect. But I'm really looking forward to this. But here's the one thing, and I'll just say this, that I did get a little annoyed by, and it's nothing with the game, but this game comes out in October, right? You know what else comes out in October? I think a week apart from this is Alan Wake 2, another game that I'm really excited to play, and I'm going to have to eventually get to playing the first one, which I'm going to do because they have it on sale right now on the PlayStation. But it's like, why do you got to have all these games boxed up together? You know, all these games in similar type genres, like spread them out. They're not like eating each other apart. And here's one of these unique enemies that we in the game, and you got to have a great enemy roll call in these type of games. So hopefully we can see more of them as we're going to see one at the end of this demo real soon. But yeah, I just I feel like one of the things that really impacts me with these type of games is not just the horror, but just the mystery of it, trying to figure out like what's going on. And both this and Alan Wake 2 for that matter just have that mysterious vibe, like you're trying to learn a story and you play through multiple perspectives trying to figure it out. And that's something I really do enjoy. And I kind of wish in a way that Resident Evil would kind of catch that mystery vibe too. Not that they don't have it, but not as much, where you're just trying to figure out what's happening, trying to piece things together. Because I like that kind of mystery. I like that kind of detective mysteries type stuff. So hopefully they can maybe bring that back in some newer installments of the franchise. But overall, I've just been looking at this year, and man, we've been blessed in survival horror games. I mean, we've really been blessed. And obviously, we have remakes, but we'll obviously have some newer titles as well. And it's just like, man, this has been 2023 is the year of survival horror, no question about it. With Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4 remake. I don't believe Silent Hill 2 remake will come out this year. Maybe I'll be surprised. You have Alone in the Dark. You have Alan Wake 2. And there's a bunch of other ones. I just not too into them. But it's not for lack of trying. Maybe one day I'll get into them. But overall, I have a lot of high hopes for this game. It's in October this month. Maybe they did it intentionally, just have them all come out in October. But it's definitely going to be a lit month for survival horror. But that is my opinion. I want to hear what your guys' opinion is. Is this a franchise you're familiar with? And before I go on, I just gotta say this. I don't know why this all this is funny, but this little girl's face when this thing is like right there, kind of that look like, yeah, I effed up, but not like in a horror way. Just like, yeah, oh crap, oh well. But yeah, are you familiar with the AloneInTheDark franchise? Are you like me? Have never played one before, but interested in it, or maybe you have played it? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Are you interested in this or Alan Wake 2? I want to get to playing more survival horror games, especially ones I've never played before, because I need to try new things. It's always nice to try new things. I like playing the ones I know, like Resident Evil and Dead Space, but I want to try out new things too. And that's the fun part, is taking a journey, a leap of faith into something you never played before, and maybe coming out really loving it. But let me know down in the comment section below if you are new to this franchise or not. But that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you all later. Peace.